Hello, Better Lived Life crew. I'm Christina, Coach, Combat Vet, and Community Change Agent. So December 30th, I ended up taking the day off of work. I was tired. The holidays wore me out. And so I tried to knock out some low energy stuff that day. I called the vet because Squish had, I was pretty sure he'd eaten the tail off of a toy. He has Pica. I was waiting for it to pass, but it had been probably close to a month, and he still hadn't passed it, and his appetite was decreasing. So I was like, okay, whatever, we'll go ahead and schedule the appointment. And so I get him in. Well, I'd call, and I was surprised. They actually were like, hey, we've actually got a vacancy today. You can bring him in today if you want. So my quiet day off to relax ended up being a vet visit. And this was the day.
Okay, so we are at the animal hospital and brought Squish in today because I've been waiting a month for him to pass a toy he ate, and his appetite had been steadily decreasing. I mean, no blockages because he was still able to go to the bathroom, and no vomiting, so I was waiting to see if he would pass it, but it had been close to a month and his appetite was steadily decreasing. So finally made the call to bring him in, and of course 1 hour before our appointment today, doesn't he start pooping cloth? So decided to bring him in anyway. They're going to do the x-ray just to make sure he didn't eat anything else while I was out on vacation and or around the house, because I did catch him chewing on my pajamas the other day. And they're also going to do a stool sample to make sure there's no blood. He didn't cut himself on anything he ate. And the doctor also checked his paw from the burn he got in October. Usually he's very calm at the vet, but today he was super duper feisty. Hisses, batting at him, trying to bite him. My guess is now that we have been through the burns, this place is no longer very calming to him because he's been poked and prodded while in pain. So my days of easy vet visits might be over. Great. So this visit, so far it looks like it's going to run me about $400, provided they don't find anything else. We shall see. Expensive kitty, especially since in October we were here for the burns. So expensive year for my FIV positive Pica death cat. Love him, but yeah, sick kitties are expensive.
Back from the x-ray and yeah, hiding in a corner. Did not like that. And including they had to do a fecal swab to check if there was blood in his stool. So
Yeah, hiding all the way in the corner behind the chair. There's the baby. Okay, so the baby has no blockages. And they're going to have the results of the fecal sample in a few days. Yeah, so the x-ray did show that he still has one very tiny piece of plastic in his intestines from another toy he ate. So, but that seems to be passing along. Yeah, cats are fabulous, but yeah. So as I was getting him home, I started thinking, I had filmed it. I might as well turn it into a video, but the video was super short. So I was like, what could I make this about? And I realized that while I had been talking about easy vet visits, one of the reasons why I have never had much trouble getting Squish to go to the vet is because I had learned a trick about carriers. Squish loves his carrier. He considers it his. He will go into it. He does not like me touching it. It is his. So we never have any problem getting him into the carrier. And then at the vet, when he starts getting super stressed, he'll jump back into the carrier because that's his little space to console himself. So I wanted to kind of walk through you guys with that and how you might be able to make your experience going to the vet with a cat a lot easier. So first and foremost, let me start with, so when Squish was a kitten, I had this carrier. It's a little smaller than most, than your conventional like plastic side carrier, but he was a kitten, and I didn't think I was going to keep him at the time, so I figured this would be fine. I was finding a lot of kittens, so I figured this would be a good carrier for kittens. Had this one. And then as he started to grow, there were indications he was going to be a very big cat. I actually spotted in the alley the cats that I think are both his mother and his father. And the mother, beautiful, large for a female, but not big cat. But the father was this giant, long-haired, gray beast. Like, this cat was just huge. So between the indications of how fast Squish was growing and the size of the cat I had thought was his father, I assumed he was going to be a very big cat. So I ended up getting, let's turn this around, this beast. Like, this is meant for like 2 cats or like a Maine Coon. It's a big carrier. So, but here's the thing, and I do owe this information to Jackson Galaxy. If you've never watched any of My Cat from Hell or his videos on Facebook, you should. He has a lot of good information. But when it comes specifically to carriers, to help your cat get used to a carrier so it loves it, first thing is take like a towel. If you already have a small like baby blanket or something you've been using that has your cat's scent on it, that's fine. But if you grab a towel, just kind of rub it on your cat to give it your cat's scent, and then place it in the carrier. From there, set the carrier out. Leave it out like a little cave for your cat. Leave that blanket in there or the towel or whatever it is that belongs to the cat. Leave it in there and let the cat just come and go as it pleases. Especially if it's a new carrier or it's a kitten that's not used to carriers. Give it a couple of treats in the carrier before it has any idea what the carrier is. So the towel is in there, it's open, it's just a thing sitting in the living room or a bedroom or somewhere. It's just a thing. Don't put it like way out of the way because then they won't use it. But put it somewhere common, someplace they come through a lot. Give them just a couple of treats in there so they get used to it. They associate it with very positive feelings and emotions. And when Squish was little, I even like would put his favorite toy in there. I'd throw his favorite toy back in there. And he took to just spending time in it. He would go in and out of it. It helps that it has more than one access point, so he could go in and then hop out someplace through. I actually had mine lives on top of a, I don't know, like nook thingy that has, I don't know, it's got drawers. I don't know what the heck you call it. But he could go in this way and then hop up through it to get on top of a bookshelf. So he regularly travels through it. It's his, he's very comfortable with it. He knows that it belongs to him. So easy access, always open, blanket, treats. Leave the same towel or blanket in there until the cat like pees or barfs on it, okay? Make sure that smell is what they are drawn to. It smells like them, so it feels safe. It's like a den. So you leave it, let them have access to it over and over and over again. And literally, as soon as I take it off of that almost dresser-like thing it sits on and set it on the floor, he comes running and he hops right into it because it's his and I am messing with it. So he comes right on over, jumps in like, this is mine. What are you doing? What are you doing? All I have to do is zip it up and he's in. Very easy. We go to the vet. We handle our business. And when we're done, he hops right back into it because it's his and it smells like him. And we go home. Now, I will say with my spinal problems, I probably should have spent the extra money to get one with wheels because it is difficult to carry him, especially in something that big. but it still works at this point. But there are some features of this one I wanted to point out. So if I travel, this one has a travel litter box. I just unfold this thing, throw some litter in it, it Velcros in place. And if he has to go on our way somewhere, litter box. It also came with like a collapsible bowl and like a pouch for food, but I've never used it honestly because we don't go that far or that long. It's just getting to like my aunt's when she's gonna watch him if I'm going out of town. Because that drive, depending on traffic, could take up to 2 hours. So he needs a litter box. He doesn't really need anything else. It has straps. I can string it over my shoulder. Yeah, and it has a lot of, it's got the type of netting that their little nails can't tear through. I love that. Definitely get the pet-proof netting. But yeah, it also has a board in the bottom with a cloth over it, so that is technically washable. I would say definitely make sure whatever you get is at least partially washable so you can clean it. But yeah, and it's not just this cat. One of the other kittens I found when I dropped him off at my aunt's, she ended up taking that one. It was the first one I found, the sickest. He actually hates boxes because unfortunately the only carrier I could get at the time, because it was the start of the pandemic and I knew I wasn't going to keep him. So I wasn't going to buy the like $200 one, was this cardboard carrier. So he actually hates cardboard boxes because he got stuck in the cardboard carrier so many times when he was little. This was before I knew this stuff too. So when I got him to her place and she got the carrier, I helped her set it up so that it lived someplace very obvious and it had a blanket that smelled like him already. And they just left it and he just gets to go in and out of it. It's always open. So that makes it a lot easier for them. And since my aunt is older and my cousin is disabled, not having to fight with the cat to get it into the carrier, at least not fight with it much, is very helpful. So make your vet visits and everything else a little bit easier by keeping the carrier someplace they can access. Let them come in and out and in and out and let it smell like them. Let it be their little cave, their little playroom, whatever. That has made having a cat much easier. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to cover today. So to all the cat parents out there, yeah, make life easier for yourself. Make the cat carrier a friend instead of an enemy. Yeah. Now go forth and do great things.